Hi, my name is David P. Shapiro. I'm the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P. Shapiro, located in San Diego, California, where my firm helps good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. And in this video, I want to talk to you about a couple of myths out there and really some misinformation as it relates to the sex offender registry and the tiered system in California, the three-tiered system to sex offender registry. First, a little background on what sex offender registration is in the state of California. For the longest time, if you had to register, it was registration for life. There was no relief after a certain period of time. So people get convicted of like a misdemeanor sexual battery or a misdemeanor indecent exposure, all the way to the most violent sexual assaults imaginable. You still had to register for the remainder of your life as a sex offender. In 2021, the law changed specifically. Applications started coming through around the summer of 2021 as it relates to California's new three-tiered system. So there's some offenses, you're a tier 3 offender, that's a lifetime registration. Nothing has really changed. Tier 2, after 20 years, you're eligible to be removed from the registration obligation. And Tier 1, after 10 years, you're eligible to be removed from the registration obligation. There's a lot of myths out there, and a lot of attorneys don't even know this, which is unfortunate and disappointing and scary, that it's not a guarantee that you or your client or your loved one will be able to stop registering or be relieved of your obligation to register after 10 years if you're a Tier 1, or after 20 years of registering if you're a Tier 2. That's not the case. What the law is, you're still ordered to register for life at the time of your sentencing. And we see prosecutors often in court will make that clear. Sometimes the judges get it wrong, and the judge says, you understand that this is a 10-year registration obligation. And everyone's sort of like, well, no, it's actually still for life. However, under this tiered system, if the offense you're convicted of falls under a certain category, say you're in Tier 1, then that means after 10 years you may be eligible, or you should be eligible for at least a court to entertain your petition to be removed from the registry. But there are no guarantees. So if there are no guarantees, why does this really matter? Well, it really matters because when you're negotiating cases, when you're considering what is a reasonable outcome in resolving cases, particularly sexual assault cases, you want to know, your attorney certainly should know, and you should be asking your attorney about these questions. Hey, where do these offenses that I'm charged with, what tier registration are they? And this offer that you're proposing that I take, what tiered registration? Is there a way to get to a lower tier? Because sometimes, admittedly, that is the only real room for negotiation. If the case is not supporting you factually, if there's a confession, if there's multiple witnesses, if it's just flat out in your best interest to resolve the case for some sort of a negotiated outcome, a plea bargain, what you want to look at is possibly to get the lower tier, a Tier 1 offense when maybe you're charged with Tier 2 offenses, a Tier 2 offense when maybe you're charged with Tier 3 offenses. So it's important that everyone know that, yes, the tiered system is a step in the right direction. At least we believe that as it relates to sex offender registration, where you're differentiating between the offenses, which is important to do so, differentiating between the lower end misdemeanor offenses versus the most violent felony sexual assault offenses. But it's not just a 10, 20 year and you're done. It just means you're eligible. So there's still a lot of work to be done. You still need to be doing well. You can't get rearrested. You certainly cannot commit a new sexual offense, or in all likelihood even be alleged to commit a sexual offense. Otherwise, that could delay the process, delay your eligibility for when you can petition the court to terminate your registration obligation. So just a little tip on that. Make sure you educate yourself. Make sure your attorney, most importantly, is educated on that. Questions you want to ask if you're interviewing law firms, interviewing attorneys, and you're charged with, your loved one's charged with a sexual assault case, ask them that question. And if the attorney you're hiring or considering hiring or interviewing is fumbling around and doesn't know about the tiered system in California, that should tell you that they're not adequately prepared to take your case. They are not up on the laws relating to sexual assault cases and sexual assault penalties. So you might want to rethink your choice. If we can help you in any way with regard to your case, loved one's case, particularly related to sexual assault allegations, particularly related to 290, Penal Code Section 290, sex offender registration allegations or charges, feel free to give my firm a call again. Law Office of David P. Shapiro, San Diego criminal defense firm where we help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. 619-295-3555.